Hey, everybody. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. 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 Another edition of Dave almost every day. Dade. He's not dead. He's died. Anyway, we're doing Dave almost every day. Hello, everybody. It's about 2:25 here on the East Coast. Eastern time, the only time zone that really matters. Eastern time. Everything is plus or minus Eastern time. How you doing, everybody? Hello, Hazel's Reptiles fam. Hazel's Reptiles fam. Hey, how are you? Anyway, we're doing a quick show today. The topic is the media the enemy? Quite a few reports today. Donald Trump had a rally. I forget where exactly. Down south somewhere. Anyway, and they said that there was a lot of anger in the crowd against the media. The media was reporters, especially television reporters, I think, that they felt a sense of hostility. You know, the media, it's like here in the Washington area, the media is kind of very pretentious and powerful, and they go to fancy restaurants, and they're wealthy, and you see this whole media class, and they're treated like super duper celebrities. They used to have this thing called the White House. What is it? The White House Press Association. They used to have that dinner every April or something, and the press were treated like celebrities. Kreisky the Creeper! So what newspapers, what TV stations, what TV news in Portland do you like, Clearski? So anyway, there's a lot of people talking about how they don't like the press, and Donald Trump has been using that in a lot of his rallies. He's slamming the press. He says CNN and the New York Times and the Washington Post and all these lefty media sites are really, they're out to get him. Okay, they're not being fair and balanced. Jeffrey Bezos, the owner of Amazon, not recently, he's quite a while ago, bought the Washington Post. So he's now kind of a big lefty, and the Post has always been a very left-leaning newspaper. New York Times is always left-leaning. NPR is left-leaning. All these PBS, all the major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, everybody claims they're kind of lean to the left. Their reporters do anyway. And Donald Trump's been using a lot of that. Now, there's been a lot of stuff going on since Trump got elected regarding his love for the press, right? There's a lot of things going on with Donald Trump right now with law stuff and Paul Manafort and investigations and Robert Mueller and all this other stuff going on, and Russian influence, and the media's been looking into that. And Donald Trump says, hey, you guys are just making a mountain out of a molehill. You're just looking so hard for problems in my administration that I can't do anything. I can't be president. I am constantly watching over all this stuff the media is doing, and it's bothering him. So I don't know. So we're checking into that today. I don't know, man. I don't know. I listened to 1190 AM. What is 1190 AM? Let me Google that. 1190. We have 1190 here. There's 1190s in different cities. Oh, 1190 Portland. 1190 Portland, Oregon is KEX. Okay. Talk radio. Okay. So who's on KEX? Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Police seek the identity of a burglar. Oh my goodness. It looks just like Creeper. Oh my goodness. They have a big thing right on the KEX website here. Police seek identity of burglar. It's Creeper. It's the Creeper. Oh yeah, okay. You got Rush Limbaugh, you got Glenn Beck, Coast to Coast. That's a good show. I always liked that one. Okay, very cool. So yeah, we got a radio station like that here in Washington too. Hey, Sister Earth, how are you doing? Yeah, everybody here. It's just another quick episode of Dave almost every day. I was almost thinking about not doing an episode today, but then I thought, I got a few minutes here to kill. It's about 2:30 here on the East Coast. We're getting a nice little boomer here. Nothing severe. I mean, but it's just dark and dank and rainy here in the DC area. It's just miserable. It's very, you don't usually get that kind of weather in August. August is usually a lot of sun, humidity, occasional thunder boomers, but just day after day of rain is kind of weird. But that's what we're getting here in the DC area lately. Oh, rained like hell last night. Hi, Dancing Dan. Are you dancing, Dan? Are you dancing now, Dan? Yes, they are. Mr. Michael Savage told me so. Okay, Michael Savage is one of the, yes, you listen to, I listen to the radio, WMAL is a radio station here in Washington, and they're very much, the press is all out to get Trump. All those celebrity press people, you watch them on CNN, the Anderson Coopers and the Rachel Maddows over on MSNBC, and all those reporters on NBC and all the major stations, yeah, and they're just trying to, find anything they can to trip Donald Trump up, right? As if they didn't do that with Obama. They did that with everybody, right? Bill Clinton. Look at all the crap they found on Bill Clinton, and he was a Democrat, It happens with everybody. I don't think it really matters so much what your politics are, what your party is. I think the media is just, that's what they do. They just look for every little thing they can get. They analyze whatever you do, every decision you make, and then, it's like appointing someone to be head of the so-and-so department. They're they're analyzed every little thing to the point where everybody has, he didn't file his taxes, or he's got a nanny gate thing, or something weird happened, a conflict of interest, I don't know. Borders, language, culture. What's the guy's name? Michael Savage is not, he used to be on the radio here. They took him off. He used to be on WMAL, and then they pulled him off and put something else on. There was a lot of conflict over that. A lot of stuff that's going on that. Who else am I familiar with in that realm? The realm. Mark Levin. Mark Levin does his show from here. Yeah. So, shooter at Ohio State. What is that? What is the news? I'm just seeing this on the news page here. It's officials responding to active shooter at Ohio Air Force Base. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you, man, every week there's another shooting somewhere, isn't it? It's just crazy. So what's the press to do about something like that, Oh my goodness. I don't know. Do you think the press is out to get Trump? Is that, obviously there's some press that's pro-Trump. We do have Fox News, and we do have some right-leaning news organizations and all that. I'm just wondering, is there a lot of you guys feel that way? Hey, Totally Kathy. Hi, Diamond/Ranch. Hi, Yellow Travels. Hi, Monchichi. Just everybody take a little breath this afternoon. We're just doing a little mini huddle here on one of my almost daily Dave almost every day. Okay. So I'm just curious as to whether you think the media is out to get Trump. Is that just in Trump's mind? It obviously isn't just in his mind, because there's an article in the New York Times today. There's some articles on the web today about the press is actually, they get very nervous when they actually go to a Trump rally. They figure they almost feel like they're going to get pelted with ice cubes or something. MFJ Burger. Oh, so let's see. Is Mark and Lou and Tony the Tiger? Mark and Lou and Tony the Tiger. Are you guys all copacetic today, or are you still all fighting with each other? Hey, Valusa EV. Name one other right-leaning major news network other than Fox. You do have a point there. You really do have a point there. There are some right-leaning newspapers, Rupert Murdoch. Well, yeah, Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox, owns the New York Post. There are right-leaning media things out there. But when you talk about the big guys, when you talk about the three major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, talk about public television, NPR, when you talk about the cable networks, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox, yeah, they're pretty much, they all kind of do lean off to the left. And yeah, Fox is pretty much, now Sinclair is a company here that is in Baltimore that owns a bunch of TV stations, and they've been rumored to be trying to start a second right-leaning news channel. But at the moment, I think you are right. But I think that that's nothing new. I think the press has always been kind of that way, hasn't it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So maybe Donald Trump does have a point, but he does use that successfully. He does use that successfully at his rallies. The media is the enemy, But what would we do what if Donald Trump could just shut down the media? Oh, does that ever happen? Do you ever have a country where they just shut down the media? Does that ever? What kind of country is that? When the government can just say, okay, you media, you're closed, you're closed, you're closed, you're closed. That's usually not what we call a democracy, right? That's like that's like a dictatorship. That does happen in a lot of the world. Hey, Princess Bubbles, Boobla, Trump should ban the press. They know too much about him. Well, that's what I'm saying. You do have countries where the dictator shuts down the press. That does happen. Oh, I don't want you talking about me. You're in jail. You're shut down. You're whatever. Venezuela, Russia, China. That happens all the time. I don't know. It's kind of like I always think, the press will never be perfect. They will always be biased. Yes, but that's far better than not having the press at all. And you know what? We've had successful Republican presidents over the years, even with our quote unquote liberal press. I mean, you look at Ronald Reagan was president for 8 years, and George W. Bush was president for 8 years, and then George H.R. Bush, Herbert Walker Bush, another 4 years, and we had Nixon, and we had, now we have Trump. So even with all this, left-wing press and all the propaganda that they instill, we still have a lot of Republican presidents, don't we? Republicans today control the state senates, or they control the state houses in like 3/4 of the states. I mean, there are only like 3 or 4 states that have like Republican senates and houses, and and governors. I mean, Democrats. There are only a handful of states that have a Democratic governor, and they have Democratic control of both of their state legislatures. Okay, Delaware is one. I think New York may be one. Vermont and Hawaii, and one other state. There are very few states that the Democrats completely dominate. So it's very interesting. I don't know. So you talk about the fact that with all this left-wing media, the Republicans pretty much run everything now, right? We got a Republican Congress, we got a Republican House, we got a Republican president. Most of the states are controlled by Republicans. So what's the problem, folks? What's the problem with the current media state? The Republicans are dominant. So I don't know, man. You guys want to change the media? Well, whatever the media is doing, they're either not being believed or they're actually working for the Republicans, because the Republicans seem to run everything. But is a state-controlled press? But a state-controlled press is fine, like Obama, Clinton had. Well, it's not really state-controlled, is it? It's every president does that too. They wine and dine the media people. I mean, everybody does that. Come on. Princess Bubbles, it's been effective in Turkey and Russia. I think America has to have, I agree with you, Gus. I would like to see America become a little more like a parliamentary democracy like in Europe, where we actually have more than 2 parties. It'd be nice to have all these fringe little parties, but there's disadvantages to that too. Then you've got all these coalitions going on, and you've got countries like Italy where they change parties every year, and the government just sits there in a giant malaise of can't do anything, So that does happen. Why are you at 4:3 ratio? Because it's the stupid little webcam I'm using, okay? It's a crappy little webcam. If you want to make a super chat donation, I'll buy a better webcam. Okay, a nicer webcam is probably going to run me 60 or 70 bucks. So hit the little super chat thing over there, the little $sign. And if I can get 60 or 70 bucks today, I'll buy a better webcam and I'll make the screen bigger. When I shoot on the camera, I get nice widescreen, but yeah, this is an old webcam. It works fine, but it does 4x3. Okay, it's like old television. So what? Even state-sponsored media like Fox isn't always working for Trump. You're right, Princess Bubbles. That's very true. And the Koch brothers. Remember the Koch brothers? They're like they fund a lot of public television. You always see that when you're watching PBS. This program is brought to you by the Koch brothers. A generous grant from the Koch brothers. They do a lot of science stuff, but they've always been very conservative. And apparently, they're feuding with Trump. So it is interesting to look at Republicans, and a lot of Republicans, like Bob Corker in Tennessee, like Mitch McConnell, they don't all like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not really a traditional Republican. In fact, before this election, Donald Trump, I don't think was even seen as a Republican. Donald Trump hung around with the Clintons. Donald Trump is liberal on a lot of issues. He's kind of just done that to get elected. I don't know. Hey, thank you, Diamond Slash Ranch. 199 bucks. Wow. 199. We're on the way to a new webcam for. Is Apple becoming too big? $1 trillion company. How many zeros is that? 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. It's like 1,000 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. It's just insane. It's insane. A million is 1,000,000, and a billion is 1,000 million, and a trillion is 1,000 billion. How many countries are that? There are very few countries that have that much money. Hit the real like button. Hello, young man. That was funny. Wrong way, Markham. Oshkosh, it's Josh. John not becoming has been forever. John who? Is Apple becoming too big? Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're answering John there. Yeah, Apple's already been too big. Well, Google, Alphabet, they're pretty big. Amazon, Bezos, they're pretty big. You got a couple of these giant big tech companies out there, I don't know. Operation Mockingbird. Dave is on Tube TV. Yeah. The old I don't know. I like those old Tube TVs. I thought those were neat. I miss the days when you just put up an antenna and you could get all your TV on a nice Tube TV. You paid for the television set, but that was it. Everything else was free, right? You got 3 networks, and you got public television, and then you had a bunch of kooky independent channels, mainly on UHF. I was perfectly satisfied with that. I don't know why they had to change everything. Gus Avocados, you need something on the center of him. You need something on the center of opinion. I just use common sense. If you can't be only left and right, you can't just be only left and right. I'll just be respectful and don't do people. You know what I'm saying, too? Do you know the interesting thing about left and right is that nobody is 100% left or right. Everybody's somewhere in the middle, and I've done that. I used to hang around a lot at my local Starbucks there when I was living in the condo, and I talked to a lot of people that were on the left, but their like finances were on the right. They're very conservative financially, but they may have been very liberal politically. And people, everybody's a mix. Even people that like Trump, if you start to talk to them, there's a lot of liberal things they espouse and espouse or whatever. Very few people are all this or all that. Everybody's in the middle somewhere, and I find that with very true. And the problem, I think one of the bad things the media does more than slant things is stereotype stuff. They like to just boil things down to stupid simplicity, to make everything sound really, to just make it palatable. And I think that dumbing down of things is probably one of the worst things they do. And that's probably far more damaging to everybody then, it's not a political thing. It's just we're dumbing everything down to stupid simplicity. And like economics, they talk about trade, they talk about the tariffs, they talk about Donald Trump, they talk about economics, they boil it down. Politicians do this too, to utter stupid simplicity. And then you don't even, these are issues that are so complicated, Do you know? Wrong way, Markham, floor model Zenith, and I was the remote control, and I was the remote control. You had to get up and change the channel. Click, 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 click. Do you remember the old remote controls, like back in the 70s? All it did was change the channel. You just, you go from channel 3 to 4 to 5. It didn't do anything else but that. And they were based on audio. It was based on sound waves. Okay, the remotes today are all, light wave things. What are they, infrared or whatever. The old remotes were sound waves. And if you took it next to your dog and hit the remote and put it up near your dog's ear, the dog would start going crazy because he could hear it, And the other thing the dog would do is, if the dog had a collar and a chain, and it would, shake the chain or whatever, and on your TV would change the channel. So the dog would run in the room, and all of a sudden the TV would change the channel. Hey, Davey. Hey, Creeper. Hey, Mark. Stephen Phillips. Hey, Stephen. Hey, I'm not Chuck. 4x3 TV, bring it back. The other thing I like too is when your TV stations were on the channels they were supposed to be on. If you watched Channel 5, you knew it was on Channel 5, Channel 7 was on 7, 20 was on 20. It's not this goofy mixed up thing today where everything is remapped. You don't know what channel's what anymore. The TV knows you're watching what's supposed to be Channel 4 and it's really Channel 36, but it's just your television just says it's 4. I don't know. It's just, that's the way it is. It's not just the media. Everything is nutty today. I miss the days of cable television when it was like 35 channels, 36 channels, 40 channels. That's all the human brain can handle, Do you ever watch? I've been watching this thing called Pluto.tv, Pluto.tv. Just punch it up on your computer there, your laptop. It's kind of like the way cable television used to be. It has about 30 channels, and you can watch them. Some are movie channels. Some have some comedy on them. I think it runs MSNBC on a delayed basis. There's Russian television. There's a couple other things on there, RT. But it's kind of reminds me of the old days of cable that I miss. I don't know. Elusa Evie, I've always been fiscally conservative but socially liberal. I think me too. I'm quite a curmudgeon when it comes to finances, but and everybody's like that, politics, society, finances, families, everybody's a whole big mix of things when it comes to left and right and conservative and liberal and all that. People's are complicated. Our brains are complicated. Do you remember when cable first came out? You had to push the buttons on the boxes with the trippable wire going back to, yes, oh yeah. Remember those cable boxes? They would give you a cable box for the top of your set and it had all these buttons on it, and you'd have to get up and press the buttons, and it had like 30 buttons. I remember that. Yeah, I remember remote controls that were wired. I had a VC, one of the first VCRs I ever got in the 80s. It had a remote control, but it was connected via a wire. You had to plug it in, and then you could trip over it as you came in. I remember that. Thank you, not a newbie. Dave TV is prime time TV. Time Chaser, how are you doing? What else? What else is going on today? Anyway, so we're just trying to talk. Today's topic is the media really evil, and are they really, really against Trump? And if so, have they really done any damage? Or is Trump, is he actually gaining popularity by playing against the media? Because the media is, even if you agree with the media, even if you think that Anderson Cooper is on the right track at CNN to cover what Trump's doing and the Manafort thing and the Mueller thing and the Russian influence thing, even if you think he's doing that, that's a legitimate story to cover. Do you like Anderson Cooper? Is he a pompous ass? He's, he's a celebrity, and everybody bows to him. Oh. Hey, Larry X just popped in to say hello, all. Have a great day, Larry. Isn't that Blind View's name, Larry? Don't forget, watch Blind Views tonight at 7 on NBC, the Nincompoop Broadcasting Company. Yeah, Larry, the black, the white big, Larry, the Blind Views dude. He will be on tonight at 7 o'clock. Unless they get flooding in Harrisburg. We're getting some big rains here in the D.C. area that are moving north up into Pennsylvania. So I don't know. Maybe Harrisburg will be blacked out tonight because all the power lines will come down from all the storms. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, God willing, Larry, the Blind Views and Black. I got Blind Bigot and Black Views. No, wait. Black Bigot and Blind Views. Okay, now I got it figured out. Anyway, he'll be on at 7 tonight. So be there or be square. Totally Kathy. Hello, Time Chaser. I have not seen you around in a while. Good to see you. Yes, it's always good to see the Time Chaser. Anyway, so what's Dave is telling us his opinion on everything. No, I'm trying to get it stirred up. I'm trying to get you guys talking about it. CNN, MSNBC, and ABC are definitely against Trump. CBS is too. And NBC is too. And NPR is three. I don't know. I do think the networks, I do watch ABC a lot, David Muir. I just find him a fascinating guy. I don't know. He's the hair and the way he presents. I do enjoy just watching the spectacle of ABC News with David Muir. And I don't get the impression that they lean to the left too much. I mean, they do. They report the news of the day and the investigations against Trump. That's true. But they also do a lot of that America Strong stuff and talk about, pro-military and pro-business stuff. I don't know. The media is anti-Trump, anti-white, and anti-Catholic religion, right? It's Mikey Mike. Yeah. But even if they are even if the media is that way, is the media that powerful anymore? You know what I'm saying? As I said before, we have a Republican president. The Republicans are in control of the Senate. The Republicans are in control of the House. The Republicans are almost in control of the Supreme Court. The Republicans are in control of at least 2 out of 3 state houses and the majority of governors in the country. The Republicans are running the show today, okay? And we have a left-wing media. So what's wrong with that? What is, if the media was so powerful, why isn't everybody a Democrat? Why aren't the states all run by Democrats? I'm just saying, Republicans complain a lot about the media, but they're running the show. The media isn't bad. It's the manipulators behind the scenes using vast sums of wealth to sway public opinion to their personal values who are bad, writes Anthony Lacus. I think you got a point there, Anthony. I think you do. Some guys on Fox News Channel, just kidding, only Hannity, annoy me with their rabid fanaticism for Trump, but FNC's daytime programming is a shining example of how to comfort Trump in a somewhat unbiased way. You got to hand it to, some of they have, carnival barkers. I mean, Bill O'Reilly was like that when he was around. He was a carnival barker. Sean Hannity is. But when you get down to the basic coverage of what they do, day-to-day news, the White House beat, the Congress beat, they have reputable reporters, and they actually do a fairly middle ground report on everything, I don't know, but they do have, the one thing you do see in cable news are the superstar carnival barkers, the Rachel Maddows, the Anderson Coopers, the Sean Hannitys, the Bill O'Reilly when he was around. They're kind of like the bigger than life personalities, and they rant and rage and do that thing. And it's kind of like, cult of personality, cult of celebrity. You see that a lot in the media today, and I don't know. They have to draw the line and figure out. You got to figure out which news sources do you like and which do you not like. I mean, I listen to my local radio station, WMAL here in Washington, and they have all right-wing talk. They don't have any liberals on that station at all. The whole station is right-wing people. The local shows are to lean to the right. They all love Trump. They have Rush Limbaugh on. They have who do they have on in the evenings? That I can never think of his name. whatever. The whole station's right wing, and their news. They do news at the top of the hour and at half hour, and their news is actually very unbiased, very fair, right down the middle news. Okay, and they really are very careful with that. Our news is fair and balanced. They don't lean to the right or left on their news, but the shows are all leaning right. So it's just interesting to see that. I get loving how hosts present themselves. I like how Brian Williams, Anderson Cooper, Wolf Blitzer. I hate Wolf Blitzer, man. I can't stand that guy. And Brett Baer present themselves on air too. I don't think it's not that I dislike Wolf Blitzer. I think he's a nice guy, but I just cannot stand his on-air persona. That he's always like this just in, or we're just learning, or oh come on. And 3 hours later, we're just getting word that just shut up. I do like, though, to see anchor people with beards, particularly women. What did Princess Bubbles say? Something about her theory. Let me catch up here. I missed something here. It's not collusion. It's conspiracy. Because the media is like the ADHD child in the room. They're mostly impressed with themselves. That is true. And it is true with a reporter. When you become a reporter, you break stories, and a lot of stories are very negative things. You find out nasty stuff about a politician or about some community leader or something horrible, and you have to report the news, and then you get kind of sucked into that. You're breaking the news, and you're beating the competition, and you're winning, and your bosses at the newspaper or the TV station are proud of you. You broke the news, and all the fellow reporters are jealous. But look what you did. You horrible news, and you destroyed somebody, and I don't know. It's all mixed up like that. You get a fire. I went out there and I covered the fire, and I got the best coverage ever, and I got the front page placement. Yeah, but the fire, made 20 people homeless and killed 3 others and put 2 firefighters in the hospital. And you know what I'm saying? You get that in the media. If you've ever been in the media, you get really hyped up about things. Then you have to kick back and say, wait a minute. This was bad. This was something bad. It's a weird kind of a thing. Trump will tell you wages are up, then the media rains on his parade when they let you know that inflation is too. Yeah. And the other thing too is they always say that, there's more jobs now. The jobs rate is up, the unemployment rate is down. But look at the jobs. For 3/4 of American people today, the jobs are not great jobs. They're low wage. Long hours, they don't come with a lot of benefits. There may be more people employed today, but they're not, it's not a good situation. Just to say jobs are up doesn't necessarily mean the economy's in good shape. There's a lot of that. You see that a lot of PR-ish stuff where the media just reads press releases and stuff like that. Oh my goodness. Not all local stations hate Trump, not even conservative ones. AFR talk has actually been anti-Trump for the longest time. What is AFR? I don't know what AFR is. Dave, I just have to let you know I was living and working in Dubai for 8 years, and some of the members of the royal family there are not billionaires, but trillionaires. They have sunglasses for the price of my house. What's that Paul Manafort? What are they doing? They have the trial. Paul Manafort trial is just a couple miles away from here. Alexandria is it's if there's no traffic, I can be over at the Alexandria courthouse in 15 minutes. Alexandria and Springfield are right next to each other. But anyway, they were doing that whole thing on the news last night of how much money he was spending for suits, $90,000, $20,000. It's like, Jesus. Then the judge had to admonish everybody, the trial today is not about Paul Manafort's choice of suits. It's about whether he, evaded taxes and aligned with the Russians. So I should go over and cover that take my little camera into the courthouse over there in Alexandria. I'm here to cover it. That I'll get Black Bigot over here. Hey, Bigot, come on back down here from Atlantic City. We'll go cover the Paul Manafort trial together. Camo and Bigot. We're the future of Future of media. A +1 for what? I don't burp. I'm not. You can leave that to Larry. Dave, you're going to make me miss Sean Hannity. They live in the media. Tony, Kathy, they live in the media bubble and have no idea what is really going on outside of that. The hardworking people in the heartland. Yeah, I think you're very true there, Kathy. I think you've got some points there. The media, they become celebrities. They do get wined and dined by the politicians. They kind of lose touch with the average people, and you've got a whole part of the country there that's kind of in the middle, and the media people are on the coasts and they're in the big cities, and they lose touch. I mean, look at Trump. The farmers are hurting. The farmers in Nebraska and Iowa and Kansas are hurting because of all the tariffs now. There's been a little coverage of that, but they can't, you put a tariff on China and they put a tariff back on us. We import televisions from China. They import food from the United States. And so we're all putting tariffs on each other and we're hurting both sides. And the farmers are all getting hurt, It's just like, it's very, very complicated. It's complicated. A job is better than no job. Dave, have you got Italian in you? You are like, I don't think I got any Italian. My great grandmother was German, and most of my family's from England or Ireland. So I don't know. Dave is the press manager for Tony. Hey, Tony Soprano here. Hey, I'm going to start doing the voices like Mark Fun Jones. Tony Soprano here. Hey, what are you? The F and the this and the F and the that and the F and the that. Bigot is tiny. Alan Bigot, right? He tried to get a job at a McDonald's, didn't he? I saw him filling out the thing for that. I don't know if he's going to face. It's funny because these big places like McDonald's, like Target, like Walmart, they do like background checks on you. I don't know. Good luck with that. Oh, Bubba, you got notified 30 minutes late. Oh, well, looks like the Thunder Boomer is over here. The sun's coming out. I don't know. It's just, I'm so sick of the rain. It is a mucky, humid mess here in the D.C. area the last week or so. And then we had a couple nice days and then another mucky mess before that. It is just one of the wettest summers I think I can ever remember. Flooding. It's awful. It's weird in this country now. The whole West is burning up and hot, and the East is chilly. And well, it's not really chilly. It's warm, but it's sticky, humid, and just torrential rains coming through. Oh, the American Family Talk. They're a Christian conservative radio network. Their political beliefs are informed by the Bible and Christian teachings and are sometimes sermons. Yeah, there's Salem Radio. We've got a couple Salem stations here. One of them is a news talker. The 1260 or 570 here in Washington is a WWRC, I think they call themselves now. They're Salem-owned. They're run by the conservative. Salem is a Christian conservative company based in California. They run a lot of radio stations, and they own a bunch of stations here in D.C. and one right-wing talker that is like Christian right. Yes, yeah. Thunder Boomers, yeah. Your Bubba's down in North Carolina. They're all up and down the coast. All the way up Pennsylvania, New York. It's the whole stupid East Coast. We are not really impressed with a $90,000 suite. You mean suit? Did you know that this is a designer white T-shirt that I paid $70 for? So don't forget to hit the super chat button down there so I can afford more of these. It's 9 p.m. in Europe. I can tell your future. You must be on the continent, right? The continent is 6 hours ahead of us. England and Ireland are 5. So England, Ireland, and Portugal, I think, are 5 hours ahead. But the rest of most of France, Germany, all that, Spain, they're all 6 hours ahead, right? Ivana hump a lot. We've heard that joke. We have heard the joke. Oh, yeah. I need to get rid of the spell check. All right. 39 minutes. Thank you all. 16. We got 34 watching. We got 16. Don't forget to hit the Hit the, hit the, hit the. Hi, Dave from Canada. How are you doing? Frank Boper. It's Boper. It'd be Bopper if you had two P's in it, right? Anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Canada. I don't know. It's been really weird. With all the nomads, they're all like out in British Columbia. I don't hear. Are there any nomads in Ontario and Quebec or Nova Scotia? No, they're all out there in British Columbia. I don't know. Stanley Classius. All righty, folks. So anyway, we're just doing a little chit chat here today about whether you think the media is definitely against Trump, as Trump seems to think so, as a lot of Trump supporters seems to think. And I say, yes, I do think a lot of the media, they tend to be liberal. They tend to be very inquisitive. And that's just the way they are. And they will always be like that. And I think it's good that we at least have a free press. And the free press will never be perfect. And there's certainly freedom out there for companies and whoever wants to do it to start news organizations that lean to the right. If they want to do that, that's a free country. And we don't need restrictions on all of that. Okay. And I'm saying that even with all of that, even with all that lefty press out there, the Republicans still run the United States of America. Okay, you got to hand it. We have a Republican president. We got most of the states are controlled by Republicans. The Senate and the House are Republican controlled. The Supreme Court is Republican controlled with Trump's new appointment. So what are you complaining about? You run everything. Damn it! Oh, the press. They're so against us. Yeah, let them be against you. You're winning the battle. Ooh, this is good stuff. Trade Winds tea comes in a giant jug like antifreeze. I love it. I love my Trade Winds tea. Oh yeah, it's really cheap too. I think this big jug here is like $2.50. All right, Sister Earth. You have a peaceful day too. The liberal media asks too many questions. But that's what the media is supposed to do. That's their jobby poo. Ask lots of questions. Jeez. My jobby poo is to investigate and look for corruption, and that's what they do. Seriously, folks, the free press in America provides a very distinctly important function. Okay, the free press in the best countries, the world's best countries all have free presses. Okay, Japan, England, France, Germany, Australia, they all have free presses and they're the best countries to live in. Okay, you don't want to live in a country without a free press. You just don't want to do that. Government gets too much control and there's nobody to, then you need to have a violent revolution. You don't want to do that. You got to say something about the United States of America. How old is this country now? 250, 300 years old. And even though we've changed parties many times, that Republicans take over, Democrats take over, it's all been done relatively peacefully. We don't have revolutions and governments collapse like they do in Europe and stuff like that. We got to hand it to ourselves. We've done a pretty damn good job of it. This ain't a perfect country. We do have a lot of problems. We still have a lot of problems. I don't think Donald Trump, I don't think Obama, I don't think the Bushes could solve all our problems, but it's still a damn pretty good place to live. You know what I'm saying? Only Fox is real news, according to the human tanning bed warning label. Whatever happened to Roger? Roger Ailes, right? Yeah, I think he passed away, didn't he? He was the head of Fox News for all those years. Poor guy. He really got, he did the whole harassment thing, and then bam, man. There's going to be another recession within 3 land. I think you're absolutely right, Sir Wallace. I think a big recession is coming. I think one of the things we tend to see in this country is the Republicans kind of take down all the restrictions and let the big businesses go do what they want to do. And then eventually everything goes to pot. And we have a recession, and the stock market will collapse. And then the Democrats will get elected, and then they put everything back together, like what Obama did in 2008, like what Roosevelt did in the 30s. They put everything back together, and they put the socialism in, and they control the banks, and they put restrictions on companies and make everybody build up again. And then everybody gets prosperous, and then the Republicans come in, and then they say, oh, let's just take off all the restrictions and let the companies do what they want. And eventually everything comes crashing down like a house of cards. And then we get a Democrat in, and it never ends. That's the way it works. It constantly goes that way. When the economy is good, the Democrats build the economies up, and then everybody wants the Republicans everybody wants to lavishly enjoy it all, and then it all comes crashing down. I am almost certain, I'll bet my $29 ZTE phone on the fact that we will have a recession in the United States, probably by the beginning of Trump's second term in 2021 or something like that. You just watch. I think Trump's probably going to get reelected because I don't see a Democrat coming along to challenge him. Andrew Cuomo, come on. If Andrew Cuomo doesn't run, I can't see the Democrats beating Trump. And he's going to have a second term, and things will be bad in the second term. It will be bad. It will be bad. That's what I think. But then again, what do I know? I don't know, man. I don't know. Hello to you, Dave, from Brooklyn. I live every day as it was my last. I enjoy the world. Things will be happy. Things will be okay, Gary. Okay. It's, I don't say you should live your day as it's your last, but I think you should, if you have a good day, admit to yourself, hey, it's a good day. I'm up, I'm able to run. The sun is out. It's a nice day. Acknowledge that, Are you trying to knock the bottom out of that cup? What, this cup? I don't know what you're talking about. I wish Bill O'Reilly had retired before his scandal, and now he's trying to hang on with his own small subscription service, Talking Points Memo. It's just sad to see, and he should be retired by now. Who else? Charlie Rose. I always liked Charlie Rose. It's kind of sad to see what happened to him. I always thought he was a really good interviewer. He did those interviews on public television. They were really damn good interviews. He had the same thing that Bill O'Reilly had, the whole sex scandal thing, and it all came crashing down. But we've seen a lot of pretty good people getting taken down by that. It's kind of sad. It really is. Then another bozo will swindle millions out of the undereducated, while people who are giving yaks breaks to billionaires. Yaks breaks. ZTE phone. Yeah, I know. Everything that's on this phone is being Deng Xiaoping, whatever his name is, done shopping. The Chinese are reading all of my texts. Everybody in Beijing, you can see all of my stupid texts, Oh, yeah. Oh, Burger Planet is back in Indiana. Oh, they're reading that in Beijing. What does that mean? Thank you very much, John Mars. Yeah, we hit 4,000 subs. I appreciate it. Woohoo! Why wouldn't Trump give more tax breaks to the 1%? His voters were happy with the pittance they got with the last one. God loves all of us. I pray for you and me, Dave. Pray for us. Us lonely people. Yeah, you're right, Chuck. You're very right on that, Chuck. Prices for online electronics, prices for a lot of things almost everything coming from China is going to cost. You're going to be spending a lot more because of the tariffs. Everything, yeah. Go out and buy your stuff right now. If you're going to do your Christmas shopping, go do it now. Okay, stock up now, because if you wait till November or December to go buy that new TV or that new camera or the new computer, everything is pretty much made in China now, all the electronics. And you're going to be spending car prices, all that electronics in your cars. Even if your car is an American car, a lot of the parts come from China. And you are going to be spending a lot more. Car prices are going to go up $5,000-$6,000 per vehicle. Everything's going to cost more, that's why the Democrats should run some ads and say, hey, Donald Trump, the reason you're going to be spending a lot more for everything. If we have a trade war with China, the American consumer is going to be the big loser. The farmers will be a big loser, Anybody getting the free lunch? Yeah, well, I didn't hit the. It took me till the 2nd of August to get the 4,000 subs. The contest technicality said it needed to be the 1st of August. So I don't know. I may still do it. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know. Hit the super chat button down there. Send me $25, and then I'll take that $25 and I'll buy someone a free lunch with it with the contest. You know, hit this. Don't forget to hit the super chat. It's that little. You see that little dollar sign down in the corner there? Hit the super chat. Send me a couple bucks. I've already seen prices for solar panels go up. If you go up the Regnogy website, most of the product is out of stock. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that. There's going to be a run on a lot of the cheaper products right now. Cars for the immediate future. It's probably smart to buy a car now. Go buy a car right now. You know, or at least early fall, and you probably get a much better deal on it, because I'm sure by later fall, by early next year, cars are going to be a lot more expensive if all this tariff stuff goes through. You know, even if they're American cars, I mean, they all get a lot of stuff from China. China needs us more than we need them. I don't know. China's really heavily invested in Africa now. There's a lot of I've seen a lot of news reports about that. China needs Africa more than we need China. 2 years left. Sell your house, live in your car. Dave, you need an ID to buy groceries. Yeah, I know. What was up with that? Donald Trump saying, well, everybody needs an ID. You can't buy groceries without an ID. And then Sarah Huckabee Sanders said, well, you know, you need to produce your ID if you're buying beer. Right? Beer. Well, yeah. Please send super mail to Camo Dave. Yes. I'll put my address. I'll put the PayPal link below and the address below. So even if you forget to do the super chat, you can always PayPal me. PayPal me $25 and I'll buy someone lunch. Might be time for me to buy my first cell phone. Really, Grizzly, this jockey, you don't have a cell phone yet. Wow. You know, it was only last year that I've actually bought my first smartphone. You know, it's true. You know, I always had a computer and a laptop, and I thought, why do I need a phone? I don't need a smartphone. I just had one of those little flip phony things, you know, for my cell phone. And I finally got the regular stupid, you know, I finally found this cheap enough, and I like it. I can go over to when I'm eating my burrito at Chipotle, and I can block people on YouTube with this. It's very powerful. I feel like I have a big sense of power with this. Is Africa going to buy all the cheap? Well, they already are, you know. All righty, folks. I think that should do it for today. I appreciate it. So we were talking today about Donald Trump, the press, whether the press is against Trump, and whether, you know, his campaign against the press is working. I think it is. I think that probably being a reporter in the United States of America today, whether it's for television or newspapers, is probably looked down upon by many people, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Not a newbie, dude. I got my first smartphone, the Moto X4. It's a great value for the money. Retails for $400, but it's on extended sale at Amazon for $270. And guess what? How much? You know how much that phone probably took to make? Probably like $10 or $15. I'm just saying. This phone took $10 or $15 to make, and I bought it for $29. I'm just saying. And it does 90% of what your Moto X4 does. It's, you know, what the hell. No cell, sat TV, no cable, nothing. Live within my means. Dave, drive a 96 Dodge Ram with over 300K on it. Wow. You are a cheap bastard, aren't you, Grizzly? My Dodge only has AM radio in it, right? I only listen to AM. I'm not wasting my money on that FM crap. Yeah, RV Hopes. Well, I've been here for almost an hour. I'm sorry if you missed it. The replay will be up. Wait for me to end, then come back in about half an hour, and the replay will be up, and you can watch it all. Hey, Dirty Guy TV. Whoop, Dave. All right, folks. Hey, I thank you all for watching today. Appreciate it. Another episode of Dave almost every day. We got almost 500 viewers of yesterday's one eventually. There were only about 20 or 30 people here at the time. There's 35 here now. I appreciate all you being here live, because it's always better to watch these shows live. However, we got about 500 people to watch the replay yesterday, so I do appreciate that. So again, if you missed part of the show, if you got here a little late, just wait a few minutes and YouTube will put the whole thing back up and you can watch the replay. And that would be fun too. And if you want to do a podcast, just shut your eyes. Okay, shut your eyes and pretend I'm doing a podcast. Okay, it's called the you can do this in the car too. Dave almost every day podcast. Okay, just close your eyes and it's a podcast. There you go. All right, folks, don't forget to watch Blind Views today, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, the only time zone that matters, with this Thirsty Thursday. And I got a couple videos in the can. I just did a really nice interview with Carolina Tony, which I should be posting later today. And I also did another mukbang of an apple burger. And then, of course, I don't know if I'm going to be doing one of these tomorrow. I may or may not. But then Saturday, we've got Saturday.